Today's topic of breaking barriers is very near and dear to my heart. We'll be exploring this theme with two extraordinary women in chess who have made remarkable impacts in their respective fields. Our first guest is someone who needs no introduction in the chess world. Please join me in welcoming Grandmaster Anna Muzychuk. Anna is a Ukrainian chess prodigy. She is the fourth woman in history to achieve a FIDE rating of 2,600. She's ranked as high as number 197 globally and number 2 among women. She's a 3-time world champion in women's world rapid and blitz. In classical chess, she was the 2017 Women's World Championship runner-up. Beyond her achievements on the board, Anna is also known for her courage in standing up for justice. In 2017, she made headlines with her bold stance against restrictions on women's rights, choosing principle over competition. Anna, we are truly honored to have you here with us. Without further ado, I hand the stage to you.
Thank you, Rhoda, and thank you for such a warm welcome. It's really a pleasure to be here and to see all of you, and it's also wonderful that you have both kids and their parents, and I hope that you will enjoy today's talk, and I hope you're also enjoying the World Championship match, which is of course the highlight of all this. So when preparing for this talk or lecture or master class, I don't even know myself because the name was changed and stuff. I was told that you have had many of them, so, and most people, they were showing their games, so perhaps you are already a bit tired of some chess lessons, and I was asked to talk about my life, my career. I think it will be both interesting for the kids and for the parents, and perhaps some of you are also chess coaches, so maybe something to be added and something to learn about. So let's start with that. And speaking about my career, I think it makes sense to start from the very beginning because it's both important at the start and it's also funny. I hope you all also like some chess-related stories, and I have also prepared some fragments from the end. So it will be both stories and career, and also some chess games, some memorable moments for me, and like that. I hope it will be interesting. So to start with, I can say that I was born in a chess family. Maybe those who know me a little bit already know this fact that both of my parents, they are chess players. Their level is candidate master. I think it's like a national master, in some other countries. So perhaps until I was 10 or 11, they were my main and only coaches, and then I started to play better than them, so they had to find some new people to help me, and also I was working a lot on my own. So when people say that I was keeping chess pieces since I was born, it's not really an exaggeration, but it's very true. Before I was born, my parents, they were playing. They were active players, but then when I was born, and later on my younger sister, who is also the former women's world champion, then they switched to training, and they basically focused on the other career, the career of the trainers. And so they started, chess were always around in our house, and as they say, as a kid, I was very curious what these pieces are and what for they are. So when I was maybe just 1 or 2 years years old. I was just playing with the pieces. But slowly, little by little, my parents, they started to explain me what they mean and how, like the rules of the game. And step by step, I learned the rules. And as they say, at the age of 3, I could already play a proper game. I knew all the chess rules, including more difficult ones like castling and passant and so on. So it's not like so typical, and it's not like obligatory to play chess at 3. But in my case, it was like that, and maybe I wasn't a very good player at that time, but I could play a game. So that's how it started, and I don't have memories like how it started, but I remember my first tournament. It was a very memorable and very special story for me. I was 4 years old and I played some local tournaments. It was for kids. Most of them were obviously older than me. But it was not a problem. I didn't think about that at that time. So what happened in the end is that I don't remember, I was second or third. I somehow shared it. I didn't win it. But for me, a very memorable moment was that I was in the top 3. And for being in the top 3, you get a diploma. And for me, this diploma was like, wow, I achieved something. And I was so proud of myself that I remember that day when everything finished, this closing ceremony, I got my diploma, and then I'm turning back to my mother and I say, no, Mom, today we don't go home by bus, we go on foot. And I am keeping this diploma. And I now, like more than 30 years later, I'm just imagining this scene, 4 years old girl, going, keeping this diploma, which is more or less, I believe, the same size as myself back then. Must have been very fun, I guess. So yeah, this was my first memory, of my first chess tournament.